and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Friday, the 6th day of November 2020. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Although it may be wet, those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a cyclist, whether you're a pedestrian operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. There is probably less traffic on the roads this morning because schools are closed. But that because there is less traffic does not mean that you have to drive faster or drive recklessly, because the roads are still dangerous. They are wet. Ensure that you follow all the rules of the road. Remember that the life you save may simply be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, and a happy birthday greetings go out to Miss Marguerite Whitaker from her daughter Jewel and the kids. Miss Marguerite Whitaker from her daughter Jewel and the kids. Happy birthday to you, Miss Whitaker. Want to give a big shout out this morning also to our good friend Inspector Courtney Miles. It is good to know that he is on the mend, and he is in great spirits. Had the opportunity to talk to him last night, and one of my guests in the studio just got off the phone with him as well. And we just want to say, Courtney, some of you know him as Butch Miles. You know, we're happy for you. We're happy for you. We wish you all of the best as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times as well. Of course, the weather situation in the Cayman Islands, because of tropical storm, I think it is, not a hurricane, tropical storm, Eta or Eta, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I think the Americans pronounce it Eta. The English pronunciation is Eta. A little stress on the E, Eta. But however you call it, it's around, and it's going to affect us, at the end of the day as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy and dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, it is the radio voice of DJ Lynn, who's waiting there to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow, that toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and the 949-6990. Email us at for the record, one word, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. You can leave us a text message or send us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. This morning, it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me none other than the Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Arden McLean, and Member of the Legislative Assembly, Mr. Chris Saunders, or should I say Member of Parliament. Well, it hasn't come through yet, but by the time you sit in that building again, it will be called Parliament. But Mr. Chris Saunders as well. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C., and thank you for inviting us. It's been a while.
Yep.
Let me say good morning to the broader Cayman Islands as well, and encourage all to keep a watchful eye out for this weather, especially with the rain. Those in low-lying areas. Yesterday I went to my low-lying areas in the East End, and it's by all appearances, all the drain wells are cleared, and hopefully they won't get inundated. But we all have to look out for this. And the winds, the report I got this morning, winds up to 50 miles an hour at times, but lots of rain is expected tomorrow. So again, I encourage people to keep a watchful eye out. It's not going to be in a hurricane or anything, but around 10 this morning they should be putting on a tropical warning. The Cayman Islands should be in a tropical warning position. That was the latest I got. Chris, you got that?
Yeah, I got to see. No, I'm actually sending it out now.
Okay. And I too would like to say how happy I am for Courtney having gotten out of hospital. We have a few more in there. I have my cousin in there who got in an accident recently in East End, and I've been keeping in contact with him. And then I have another friend. He likes to say he's older than me, and I have to respect him, James Williams. He born 24th, Crosby born 25th, I born 26th, and Balfour born 27th. So it was all of us within 1 week, and James is in hospital. But
let me send out the messages. Also.
So I wish him a speedy recovery, all of them, speedy recovery as well. So see, there's much to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll let Mr. Saunders have some opening comments, because 2 minutes we'll take a break, and then when we return, then we get right into the meat of things. Mr. Saunders, welcome back. Nice to see you. And I noticed I didn't have to meet you by the door to direct you in, just in case you got lost.
No, that's fine. No, I apologize. I'm just sending out my update to my constituents and others. But no, it's great to be back. It was a very long session. The last time around, I think the last Monday we finished after 2 a.m. in the morning, I believe. So we were quite
2:15,
yeah, 2:15. I was quite frazzled. But no, one of the things going into the last legislative session, when we met as a team, and we were looking at in terms of what it is that we wanted to get done. One of the main things for us has always been the theme of what we can do to improve the quality of people's lives. So if we look at the motions that we have been bringing, it's always been along in terms of trying to get people improve the quality of life. So the last time around, one of the things that we looked at was in vacation leave, because one of the things that we noticed is that there's this constant drive to, build a world-class civil service or to make sure the Cayman Islands meet international standards. And one of the things that we looked at is that we realized that some of our employee benefits that we have aren't up to international standards, namely starting with even something as simple as vacation. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the things that we had asked for is for the government to consider looking at the vacation leave in the sense of gradually over time to get up to international standards. International standards are a minimum of 15 weeks. We start at a minimum of 15 days. We start with a minimum of 10 days.
LOE, the labor.
Yeah, for the vacation. So eventually it moves up to
ILO.
The International Labour Organization, yeah. Eventually, it moves up to the minimum 15 days after 4 years of working, but we think that's something that we should have started off much earlier than the 4 years. Equally in government, their minimum that they start is at 12 days. And we think that each of those bands should move up by at least 3 days to get to the international minimum, but also at the same time maintain the spread between number of years. So it's one of the things that we looked at.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we will continue right on that trend. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series. Brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The silver thatch palm, native only to the Cayman Islands, was a highly useful and versatile tree. The open leaves were used in roofing, the ribs used for brooms, and the unopened leaf spikes woven into hats, mats, fans, and baskets. However, the most important product of the silver thatch, also the most marketable, was its usage in rope making. The rope was primarily made in West Bay, North Side, East End, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. Thatch ropes were used by all local fishermen and those in Jamaica, and the thinner gauge rope knitted into nets for turtle fishing. By the 1950s, synthetic fiber rope made its way into the market. Although not a huge source of profit at 9 pence per 100 yards, rope making was vital, especially for women, and meant the difference between survival or being destitute.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like a hold glass of swanky on a hot Cayman Brac day. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, Funky Tanks, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabirds Bar, Eastern Avenue, Tashara Lewis in Cayman Brac. Get your golden tickets. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. The Music Extravaganza 2020. Building bus shelters throughout the Cayman Islands, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Rotary opens opportunity.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior, an 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology, and power features. Tough. Built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
Green Turtle,
Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. 122 Industrial Way, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers and stay prepared. 949-2511. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Art McLean, MLA, Mr. Christopher Saunders. Mr. Saunders, back over to you, sir.
You've gone from Chris to Christopher. Like you have paused it for a while. I know, that's all right. I only get called Christopher and I'm normally in trouble. So I was wondering now. But no, as I was saying before, going in, when we meet as a caucus and as a team, and we're looking at what motions to bring and what to look at, the main thing that really drives us is what it is that we can do to improve the quality of people's life. Because one of the things that we're trying to get Cayman back to, and which is one of the things that have made us unique in terms of our development. Unlike many of our Caribbean neighbors, we were able to grow organically, where we started at the community level. Then we created an economy and then a political system. That's the normal route most countries go. Whereas in other islands across the Caribbean, and this is just unfortunate, just a result of the way things were, is that it was designed for the exploitation that the economy come first, then a political system was put in place, and then the community came last, where it was pretty much a slave society. So the economy first, the politics second, and then the people, which are the slaves, came last. We developed differently, and we developed the right way, and that is one of the things that have made us unique in terms of being able to be who we are today. And it's very important for us to get back to that, where everything starts at the people level, everything starts at the society level. And then the economy comes there, and then the politics come last. And that is the balance that we need to get back to. So when we do meet as a team, the main thing for us is, what can we do to look at people's lives, to make people's lives better? And going back to, like I said, so the motions that we have been looking at is the quality of life motions, those kind of initiatives. We start with the maternity leave again, because we still want to go out and encourage more people to have children. But at the same time, we do recognize that it's very expensive to have children today. So what can we do in terms of the cost of living? No, that will require a shift in many priorities, but ultimately the shifting of those priorities is something for the people to decide. And that is going to be a big part of our election manifesto, where we start looking to say to the people, listen, these are 5 bold things we're looking at. Yes, they're bold. Yes, they're big, but more importantly, they're doable. And this is what we believe can be done to basically make people's lives better. And that is pretty much where our shifting priority is right now. And so going back to the vacation leave, something as simple as vacation leave. I mean, we force every single international obligation in the Cayman Islands. Well, why not force the employee benefits, those international standards too? What happens, if people are working, and God forbid something happens to them, they get a stroke, they get something, they don't have a government job, they're in a business. Some small businesses can't afford for people. So when we ask for the creation of a committee to say, you know what, let us look at the pension, because that is already messed up before this crisis. The recent withdrawals have really messed it up. You know what I mean? Let us look at what we need to do to fix retirement going forward so people can retire with a certain amount of dignity. But while we're looking at it, let us also look at disability insurance. We mentioned Butch, and I'm glad to see he's doing better this morning. But if that been someone else without a government job, working a regular job, have a stroke, unable to work, you probably be a single income household or a double income household, then what happens to you? Mm-hmm. Some businesses can afford to carry you for months. But then what happens if you're, a longer term illness? These are the kind of safety net issues that we need to be looking at. So again, that's why we asked the creation of that committee to look at the future of pension, since it was this Parliament that made the decision to dip into the pension, because when you calculate it out, we have in essence asked people to take at least 10 years worth of savings off their pension when you factor in what 25% is. Mm-hmm. We're talking about 10 years worth of pension that we have asked people for.
And it's not likely to be recovered.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that too, the cabinet that made the decision to the information that they had that made that decision, you've been a CABSEC, you know that information is sealed. So at a minimum, a select committee of the House, which actually meets in privacy, it's not like the Public Accounts Committee that meets in public, is that we'll be able, and the government would be able to say, well, guys, when we made that decision for the 10,000 plus the 25%, this was the information we had at the time. At least that information can be put out in public. So at least future legislators will have an idea what information was used to arrive at this decision. But to have closed that committee off, not even entertained the idea, complaining about business costs, and then having that information now sealed for God knows forever and a day, as it been a cabinet paper that did it, we will not know now the decisions or the assumptions that went into making that decision. So again, the country is lost for that. So I'm hoping that this cabinet, before they goes, at least releases that information, so at least future legislators could understand what input went into that decision. Mm-hmm. The only thing in the future cabinet is going to see is the decision that's been made, not the information that went there. So that is what we're asking the government, was giving them the opportunity to make that information public, so at least people can understand what information they had at the time, why they made the decision. And then the last motion that we did, so we did the vacation, look at increasing the vacation, government shot that down. We look at creating a committee to look at the future of pensions, plus the disability, it's something wrong, the government shot that down. And at least we were happy that they accepted the one where we looked at medical bills, where people are receiving bills 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, 7 years later. Your insurance coverage runs from a 12-month period, January 1 to December 31 probably. And then when you show up 3, 4 years later and say to somebody, oh, here's a bill that you to pay. Mm-hmm. Who's going to draw on that? No. Caveat to that is that those were bills that were meant to have been covered by insurance, that should have been sent by insurance, because as it stands right now, if you submit a bill, if an insurance company if a medical provider or a hospital failed to send a bill to your insurance company within 6 months, that insurance company is not required to pay if they don't send it within that 6-month period. And the problem is, when the insurance company refuses to pay it, sometimes the medical provider come after the person to say, well, this money is outstanding. So what we're basically saying is that you're now chasing somebody for money that the insurance should have covered. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. Why are you chasing me? No, at a minimum, the most the person should be responsible for is maybe the 20% or whatever their copay was. Yes. Outside of that, I'm sorry.
It shouldn't fall in there.
Yeah, because like I said, when you look at the insurance benefit, it runs on a 12-month cycle, usually from January 1 to December 31. So those are the things. So, credit to the minister for accepting it, and even told his own story, his own experience, where he got stiff with a bill 5 years afterwards too. So he understands, at least off the bat, that was definitely an issue that was real. Mm-hmm. And I'm pleased that all 3 motions that we took, Arden and I took those motions on behalf of the team. So but it is the discussion and the input and everything that goes into why we're doing what we're doing is really what makes the difference. And over time, when you add all of them up, people can start seeing, well, this is what the bigger picture looks like.
Okay. Okay, we've reached the top of the hour for the 8 o'clock news. Folks, don't change that dial. Stay tuned, because the conversation with MLA Mr. Chris Saunders and the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Arden McLean, will continue after the 8 o'clock news.
Want to win big just in time for Christmas? Priced Right is giving away 6 $250 Priced Right gift cards in their Black Friday giveaway.
To enter, just spend $100 or more from now until November 25th and submit your entry online with your receipt.
If you win, you could spend it on Christmas presents, upgrading your TV, groceries, or spend it all on yourself.
For more info, go to pricedright.ky.
Get in store now for the Black Friday giveaway at Priced Right. Live better for less.
Terms and conditions apply. Promotion only valid at Priced Right at the Airport Center.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Did you know that between May and August 31st, in support of the COVID-19 Emergency Withdrawal Program, the Chamber Pension Plan leveraged IT and human resources to successfully review over 16,000 member applications, approve over 12,000 applications, and paid over CI $130 million to our plan members. We are the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, and we're here for you. For further information regarding the Emergency Withdrawal Program, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With a look at Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news, I'm Dion Anglin. Tropical Depression Eta, currently over the Gulf of Honduras, is expected to move northeast and strengthen to a possible tropical storm and track about 83 miles to the northwest of Grand Cayman, 128 miles west-northwest of Cayman Brac by Saturday afternoon, and over central Cuba by Sunday morning. On its current forecast path, Eta is expected to briefly support tropical storm force winds over the Cayman Islands by Saturday afternoon. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, is issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Eta, which was located 17.5 north or about 407 miles west to southwest of Grand Cayman, with maximum winds of 35 miles per hour and is moving north at 7 miles per hour. A tropical storm watch remains in effect for the Cayman Islands. Expected weather conditions for the Cayman Islands: overcast skies with torrential rain and intermittent thunderstorms. Showers will locally be heavy at times, leading to flooding of low-lying areas. A flood warning is in effect for the Cayman Islands. Estimated rainfall amount per day: today 76.2 to 153.4 millimeters. That's 3 to 6 inches of rain. On Saturday, 5 to 10 inches of rain. Today, models are indicating extreme amounts of precipitation across the Cayman Islands from this evening, given Tropical Depression Eta's current forecast path. Caution is key over the next few days, with the islands currently on tropical storm watch.
We're going to potentially have quite a bit of flooding over the next couple of days. The grounds are already saturated from the weather we've had over the last few days and few weeks, actually. So again, we're really asking the public to, try and stay off the roads if they possibly can. If you can work from home, fantastic. It's really important to be watching out for potholes, for sort of debris in the roads, and just making sure that you as a family and as a community are prepared.
Hazard Management Director Danielle Coleman says they are also advising boat owners to secure their vessels because of the rough seas and high winds in the forecast. HMCI is also working on its own preparations.
We always over-prepare and then scale back if needs be. So like with Delta, we have got, for example, the Red Cross shelter is on standby, ready to go. We've got other shelters being prepared today if, by chance, we need them for any flooding issues.
Audio there, courtesy of CIGTV. Another area of preparation due to COVID-19 is the matter of people in isolation. With the new quarantine at home program, officials want to ensure that anyone who might have a flood risk is identified so they can safely be moved to another location. Later this month, the Cayman Islands National Museum shuts off Goring Avenue for a good old-fashioned kitchen dance.
We're going to, have live music and some festivities. The opening of a new museum exhibit featuring some of the artifact collection that Miss Virginia Foster has just donated to the museum. We're going to have local food. We're going to have competitions. we're going to have traditional and specialty vendors, because this is also the time that we have our annual Christmas Bazaar.
Museum Director Peggy Denton says the event is not only a joyful event, it also marks a milestone for the museum.
The reason why we're doing this, first of all, we're celebrating the museum's 30th anniversary, and that's a very significant milestone for the museum. And we just want to show our appreciation to the public and to the community through this festive kitchen dance. It's traditional. It's for everybody, and we just think we will have joy and fun and the beginning of the sense of the holiday season.
The fun starts at 4 p.m. on November 21st at the waterfront and ends at 8 p.m. Turning now to regional news, here's Carib Updates' Wendy Chateau.
Tropical Depression Eta has re-entered the Caribbean Sea and is on a trek that could take it near the Cayman Islands and Cuba as a strengthening tropical storm. The Cayman Islands has been put under storm watch. As of 5 a.m., the system was 430 miles west-southwest of the Cayman Islands, with 35 miles per hour winds just under tropical storm strength. Eta weakened into a tropical depression Wednesday evening after previously making landfall in Nicaragua as a Category 4 major hurricane, but degenerated once its center became disrupted by Central America's mountainous terrain. At the moment, it is still causing heavy rains and life-threatening flooding over portions of Central America. The National Hurricane Center said Friday that interests in Cuba, the northwestern Bahamas, Florida Keys, and southern Florida should monitor the progress of this system, as tropical storm watches could be required for some of these areas later Friday.
And now for a look at news elsewhere, here's the BBC's Jerry Smith.
Joe Biden has for the first time pulled ahead of Donald Trump in Georgia, a key state in the US presidential race, as he inches closer to victory. Mr. Trump must win Georgia to leave him with a path to re-election. Mr. Biden has now edged ahead there by more than 1,000 votes, with the remaining 1% of postal ballots seen as more likely to favour the Democrats. The German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas has implicitly criticised President Trump for alleging fraud in the US presidential election. Mr. Maas tweeted that decent losers were more important to the functioning of a democracy than brilliant winners. Amid growing international concern about the conflict in northern Ethiopia, the country's Prime Minister has said the military operation in the Tigray region has limited and achievable objectives. In a tweet, Abiy Ahmed said it was aimed at restoring the rule of law and the constitutional order.
The BBC's Jerry Smith there, taking us out of Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like a whole glass of swanky on a hot Cayman Brack day. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, Funky Tanks, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabird's Bar, Eastern Avenue, Tashara Lewis in Cayman Brack. Get your golden tickets. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. The Music Extravaganza 2020, building bus shelters throughout the Cayman Islands, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Rotary opens opportunity.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Cistern water designated for the purposes of drinking, cooking, and bathing must be disinfected before use after a hurricane. Simply leave the water for 1 minute after it begins to boil, or to disinfect with bleach, add 3 ounces of chlorine bleach to every 1,000 gallons of water. A residual bleach smell is an indicator that the water has been properly disinfected. For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
For additional weather information, visit www.weather.gov.ky. As well, stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop,
dancehall, urban gospel.
The Super Jam Show is
brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center. Don't take chances with your family's future.
Dragon Inn Restaurant in Countryside Plaza. Dine in or call 947-1166 to place your order. And the University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Find your place in the Cayman Dream today. The UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking. Change your life. Practicing forgiveness is a healthy habit.
As pastor and best-selling author Gary Chapman wrote in his book, The 5 Love Languages, How to Express Heartfelt Commitment to Your Mate, forgiveness is not a feeling, it is a commitment. It is a choice to show mercy, not to hold the offense up against the offender. Forgiveness is an expression of love.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
It's the return of the Sub of the Day. Come into any Subway location and order the 6-inch Sub of the Day for only $3.50, or get the full meal for just $6.
Wow, a meal in Cayman for only $6?
Yes, and it's never been easier to get your favorites from Subway. Just stop in, message WhatsApp at 929-4658, order online, or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. Check out their Facebook or Instagram for the latest store hours. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Introducing the new Digicel Prime bundles, better than anything we've offered before, with more data than ever, more music on the music, more live sports on Sportsmax, more movies on Playgo, more video chats on BIP. With the new Digicel Prime bundles, it's never been easier to get more digital experiences, plus extra data. Get 50 gigabytes with a 7-day bundle. So much data, so much fun. Buy in My Digicel app today, the Caribbean's fastest mobile network. Digicel, better together.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Arden McLean, and MLA Mr. Christopher Saunders. Gentlemen, the mic is back over to you.
Yeah, we'll see. I note with interest that Mr. Miller sent out the correspondence between himself and the AG's office, right?
Yes.
On the laying of papers in the Legislative Assembly. I just briefly want to say, OC, on that matter, that long before that opinion came out, I told everyone there that you have no right to do that. There's no provision to not lay it. That's why we have provisions in our standing orders where you can have minority reports, and that is precisely why the Speaker shouldn't be on any committees, because the Speaker is the final arbiter on whether or not it is laid, how it's laid, and whether or not it's debated, you see. And if you're part of the committee, then you have intimate knowledge of what went on. So, but what is more interesting about on that issue, on that matter, is that the new constitutional draft that we did last year, or earlier this year, that we debated extensively in the Legislative Assembly. Now that is supposed to go to the Privy Council on the 11th of this month. And unfortunately, the government has not made that public, what that constitutional order is. And I don't know why. I have been copied on correspondence from the constitutional commissioners requesting that it be made public. And of course, the governor is saying that it's Alden, is the premier's responsibility to do it. Therefore, he's leaving it up to him. That's unfortunate because you don't know what's in that draft. Anything could have been put into it other than what was proposed. I'm a little concerned about that myself. I hope they make it public prior to it going in place.
Not a whole lot of time left. What, we have 5 days?
About 5 days. Yeah. You can make it public today and let the people see what it is. It's their constitution. It's not the legislator's constitution.
Not only that, when we did our constitution, we had a draft constitution that was circulated, to the whole public, to the public.
Absolutely, it was. You remember we had that draft before the election.
Yeah. Yep.
And the election was held in May 2009, and then it was not enacted until July or something, August,
and then it came into effect in November.
In November. So I don't know the reason why they're doing that, but on the matter of
because it can't contain, it shouldn't contain any more than what was agreed upon by the Legislative Assembly.
Unless they're going for the third term, and they don't want to put that out there.
Well, I don't know, but I hope those things are not placed in it. Well, it shouldn't be changed, not materially. It should not be changed. They may have found some errors or omissions or something, or punctuation or something like that. But even punctuation means it changes it significantly as well. But the public should know. And I would like to call on both the governor and the premier to make it public prior to the 11th, because you don't know if at the very least there needs to be more transparency.
Yeah, I mean, all that does by not making it available.
Make it appear like something is wrong.
There's something to hide, which is really not good.
Which is really not good. Shouldn't be the case.
The thing about it, if you go back to that same constitution talk, and I mean, you remember our original position, where we had wanted a referendum for it, and the one thing that kind of pushed us over the edge was with going into the UK election at the time. We were fearful that had we not get that constitution, and at the time we wasn't sure if it was a Conservative or the Labour would have won. We didn't want to have the current constitution we have with a Labour government in place. So at least it would give us a little bit more autonomy, because if you go back to the genesis of the constitution talks, it came as a result of that Sanctions and Money Anti-Laundering Act, where they had that community effect with this ordering council, where we weren't consulting everything. So that is what triggered it off with the UK basically doing this. And so the whole objective for us was to try to make sure we have a little bit more control of our own destiny in that regard, and that they just can't willy-nilly, I mean, ultimately they still have Section 125 to do it. But that is what triggered the whole constitutional talks. You know what I mean? So at a minimum, but it was that reservation because we were kept in the dark with a lot of different things also in terms of what was happening, and we wanted to make sure at a minimum that the people knew exactly what it is that they were getting. No, like I said, some of us, I mean, like I said, I decided, with the elections coming up, yes, as much as I wanted a referendum on it, I wasn't going to take the chance with the UK election going a different way. And then at least we not have that opportunity again if the government had changed and the Labour took over at the time. So you don't know what the mood would have been at that time. So you know what? Let us just, sometimes you just got to move by faith and not by sight kind of thing. But at a minimum, I am now concerned that, with 5 days to go before this is laid, we still can't get an update on exactly what is going there. You know what I mean? Now, I'm hoping it's not sinister. I don't think it's a third term, because someone just messaged me and saying they're looking for the third term for Alden or whatever. I mean, I don't think that, because I don't, as I said to the Premier at the time too, and when we were having the discussion with him before we even made the formal announcement, when we had met as a caucus and we said to Arden, in light of all that's happening, go engage the Premier and say to him, we are willing to support this at this time. So we want to remove from our Arden position to some extent, to use a domino term. And I remember even the night after Arden went and talked to him, he came to me and said, Chris, the Premier want to talk to you. I said, what happened? He said, you just want to hear it from your mouth just to be on the safe side. And I told the Premier right then and there, I said, listen, regardless of our political differences, and people need to recognize that all of us as legislators still have a job to uplift all Caymanians, regardless of their political belief. And politics has got to remain about ideas, ideals, and ideology. That's what politics needs to remain about. It can never be personal. When I said to him at the time, that I'm a little bit more comfortable in terms of trusting him that this is still the best for the country. And because, I was one of the biggest critics in terms of that, but let's move forward, because at the end of the day, it gives the Cayman people a little bit more regards to their destiny and everything else, and also to manage their affairs. So, fine, if I take it political, if I kind of giving up, pushing for a referendum, then I will live with that. But I can't run the risk of a Labour government coming in and then wishing we had this, or this opportunity to not present itself.
Now, speaking of, 2 terms in the Cayman Islands, and that third term we see in the Eastern Caribbean, where St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, 5 consecutive terms. Yeah. That is, from my personal viewpoint, and that is dangerous. We don't need any one political leader to be in office for 5 consecutive terms.
But who are you?
That cannot, like I said...
Who are you to determine that?
I said that is my...
wishes.
I said those are my views on it. Okay. My personal view on it is that it is not healthy for any democracy. You wonder then whether or not it is a democracy when you have one party, one prime minister. We have seen what has happened in the Eastern Caribbean when those prime ministers, when they eventually go, either through natural attrition or otherwise. What happens? The ones who come into power after that say, oh, now it is our time. Now it is our time. It is not healthy.
But then the people will leave those there for 4 terms too, 5 terms too. Oh, see, a democracy is the people. And if the people wishes and aspirations...
Sometimes the people don't have choices because that is what they have built in. They don't have that built in to their constitution. We keep talking about the
people. What do you mean they don't have choices when they have free elections?
Hear me out for a second. We keep talking about the people. Don't we have constitutional amendments coming, and the people of the Cayman Islands have not had any say in that other than what you as legislators have debated in the Legislative Assembly?
Understood. And I will concede that. However, there are some, at least the people knew what was coming, okay? And see, there are certain things, like I said that night when I was making my speech at the end of the LA, if this comes into place. A constitution is about the aspiration, ideals of the people. These changes that we just did, we just proposed and debated, was not about the aspirations of the people. This was about trying to get more autonomy for us to be able to manage it better in the interest of the aspirations of the people and the ideals of the people. Those changes didn't include whether the people wanted to go on to be independent or anything of that nature. Those are aspirations that the country, the people have, that they will make known that this is what we want from here on in. And those are the things that we must advocate for and let them make that decision on how we move forward with their country. But certainly, when we know that there were certain things in there, OC, that I didn't agree with. There are still certain things in there I don't agree with, like Section 81, how that was being changed for the governor to come down to the Legislative Assembly. I did not agree with that, and I stand to this day. So people are saying that, oh, well, we made that come out. Well, people need to compare what it is versus what it was going to be. And all it was going to do was to embed any governor into the political atmosphere, the political arena in this country. And I did not support it from the beginning. So there are certain aspirations. That's what a constitution is about, because a constitution is about a written document that the people within that country subscribe to. And this is what we want for our country.
Right.
And
it's a contractual agreement between the politicians and the people.
No.
It is?
No, that constitution is an agreement between the sovereign authority and the people, and the politicians must operate on it. That's what it's about, my friend. And when you see why do you hear all the debate, and including yourself, about not putting the constituency councils in place? Because the politician is not going by what the people want. It's the people who said that that's what they're going to be governed by. It's the people who put the politician there and say, listen, here is a document, you live with that document.
But bear in mind, it's the politicians who form the government, who make up the government and comprise the government at the end of the day.
But they must be governed by that law.
Got to take a commercial break. When we return, I think it would be useful for us to, since you mentioned the letter from that Mr. Miller received from the Attorney General, just to share that with the public as well, in the interest of transparency, just to read that.
Public Accounts Committee, he's a member.
So
I think it's only fair that he
read that out.
Right.
Yes. Okay, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior, an 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology, and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers. Appliances, dishware, bulk foods, and so much more. With huge savings. Ropers is stocked for your hurricane supplies. Don't cut back on your needs. Cut back on your spending with Ropers. Your neighborhood store. Value. Integrity. Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Call 949-2511. Clean up your spending with Ropers. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Chris Saunders and Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Arden McLean. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I've never actually called into Radio Cayman. I do listen to you guys on your talk show. I'm finding it very interesting. But this morning I was very compelled to call in because I'm a bit disappointed in a comment that was made by the Leader of the Opposition. And I want to say, Mr. Art, I totally do agree with you. As a born Caymanian, 5th generational Caymanian, we all must agree, it's we that hold the power to put the politicians where they are and to remove them. It's we to hold them accountable. And I do agree that there should be something in the Constitution whereby stipulates that a premier can only serve for certain amount of terms.
It is there.
And I know that is there, but also for the politicians themselves, because we should give those younger Caymanians that we aspire and that they aspire, that would love to come up and be politicians, the opportunity to get in there and groom them. Another thing I can't understand is why certain politicians are of certain ages where under the government, I think there's like a mandatory retirement age, and why they're still there, I don't understand that either, and that is yet to be explained. But you said this morning, you were talking about the politicians having or hearing and taking things to their people and having the people have some say. And the Leader of the Opposition said, well, at least they got to know, and you were talking about the bills that were forthcoming and being put to the House, and the Leader said something to the point like, well, at least they were aware of the bills. Sir, I beg to differ. I want to say to you, I don't know, it's 19 of you. I don't know how many of you took the time to go out there and make your people, us the people, aware of all of these bills that were going to the House, and to hear from us what we feel, or what. And I'm not saying that you definitely have to make your decisions based on what we say, but I beg to differ based on that point or that statement you made this morning, because I can say that the majority of you never went out there and never communicated and never made your constituents aware of what was being put out there. And when we did learn of it or heard of it, we had no say. And that's bottom line. We have no say in what is happening in our country, and that's for the majority of you. So I'm very disappointed to hear that this morning.
Okay, well, let me explain what I meant, ma'am. Okay, here is what happened. The people, us, me included, go to the polls and elect a set of people to run our country, whether it's through a party or whatever, and it's their ideals that we subscribe to. Here we have a little different system that you make a coalition government. So whatever that is what the people have. Now, they are the ones who are to manage the country. Like you, when it came to this Constitution, I didn't know what was going on until the last day too. But what happens in the case of knowing, and this may not necessarily be something that, and this may be arguable that it doesn't happen, like you just said. One of two things. Nothing can go to the legislature without it being publicized, and we do that through the gazettal period. So that may not necessarily through the gazettal process. That's what the Constitution said, must be publicized in the Gazette. So that's one way of the public knowing. Granted, that's questionable whether people get it through that process. It should be through the media and explain more and whatnot. The second one, and most important that you're talking about, that you mentioned, is that of us going out and as politicians and explaining these processes
as representatives of your constituents.
Right. I try to have a meeting every quarter in East End. Sometimes that slips up. But then what we do is go and talk to constituent members. It may be that we don't cover everybody. But I agree with you. That whole process might need to be done in a different way, in many ways. For instance, Chris does a full social media to try and reach everybody. The problem with it is you have public meetings and not everybody come. You can't explain everything there. You can't visit everybody because you only got 21 days when the government publish these things. And you can't visit everybody in 21 days. So what we do is try to go to the media. The media, unfortunately, the written media is not very not disseminating information, because I've always said that the written media, we should know who owns it so the people would know what direction they come from. But that's besides the point. What we do is try to come on the radio and then tell the people what is coming up, or in layman terms, and then after it has been done, if there are any changes to it, we try and do the same thing. That's why we're here today. And those things may need to be changed. We may need to tweak those to make people know more about it. But it's such a boring thing. We just need to bring it down to, those laws are boring to understand. We just need to bring it down to layman terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, you still there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anything else you want to say before you go?
I've heard his explanation, and I appreciate it. I know him on a personal level and love him to death, but I can say that, anyway, I won't even make any more comments.
Okay.
I certainly...
I can't recognize your voice, though.
Thank you.
No, you won't recognize it. I can assure you that. You won't, okay?
Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Stay safe in the weather.
Sorry, I just want to add something there, because I'm one of them. I sometimes get complaints from people that I send out too many messages, and sometimes I get complaints that
you don't send out enough.
I don't. They're too long.
Well, they can always delete them, and those who have an interest in it will take the time.
I
to
can
read
tell
it.
you, even going into the last session of daily, we did send out something. I mean, extensively. The 3 motions that we were doing, plus we went into all the bills that the government had sent out, and people, as Arden said, is that when we get them, we normally get them in the 21 days notice. I mean, sometimes we have an idea that they're coming along, but I mean, I look at the time in which when they got published, we sent it out in, I think maybe 3 days or 4 days after. The date and everything had already been set. So, I mean, I went out of my way, I mean, especially, I mean, and unfortunate, well, I won't say unfortunate, but for the team, I'm the one tasked with myself and Alva in terms of getting
social
a lot of
media.
the social start out, and we went through literally read all of those bills within 3 to 4 days. I mean, every single one. And if you go through the level of detail, I mean, even on the government motions and everything, I mean, I remember that message being extremely long because there was a lot to cover, and people are calling to basically say, well, Chris, why did you send me such a long thing? When we're doing the civil partnership bill, we're sending out literally 2 messages a day, breaking that bill down piece by piece, because again, those were issues that nobody campaigned on. So there are some things that as elected representative, based on campaign, based on general feedback from the people, we know where our people stand.
Yeah.
In that particular one, because that was something that nobody campaigned on, I mean, we're literally sending out 2 messages a day, breaking on a bill in each sections. And I remember people like, please, God, enough of this now. But the whole idea was because, again, no feedback.
And sorry, Chris, but you will notice, OC, the only time the people understand, if there's any difference from what we say publicly on the radio and we go down to the Legislative Assembly and debate it and advocate on their behalf to change laws and whatnot. And if they don't listen to the radio, because the press does nothing, because the press, in my view, does not understand these things.
But the thing is, you got to bear in mind, people don't have time to listen to the radio.
Right.
When the Legislative Assembly is going, while you're at work, people are at work too.
Right.
And when they do replay it, when it's replayed,
they miss some of it.
We have to take a commercial break. We do have a caller on hold as well. So, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
I grew up in a Canadian village with a general store that had just about anything you could ever need. That's what I'm reminded of every time I go into West Bay Pharmacy. It's not just because it's well stocked with necessities and oddities, but also because it's like our community hub. The staff treat customers like friends. Ron and the team of pharmacists have kept my family patched up and flu-free for years, and there are usually a few good laughs mixed in. They are truly taking care of my health and my family's health. West Bay Pharmacy is the very best of Cayman kind.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs, with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was...
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Good morning, Doc.
And good morning to you, your guests.
Good morning.
Yesterday on Rooster, I heard Mr. Kenneth Bryan stating that he is bringing a motion at the next sitting of the House to amend the elections law to allow for eligible voters to vote by mail-in ballots. I hope that never happens. There's no need for mailing ballots in Cayman. And the reason why, I guess they saw this on TV now in America, and now they're saying that they want to amend it to allow for mail-in ballots. There's nothing wrong with the way the election law provides for voting in Cayman. We have one of the most advanced voting systems, and our turnouts of 80, 85, sometimes 90% is indicative of that. The problem that we do not want to go back to is the old days where they have absentee ballots, and some unscrupulous politicians would take the absentee ballots and mark them for themselves and send them into the legislature, send them into the vote. We don't want to go back to that. We don't want to go back to that where people could steal elections by absentee ballots. We don't want to do that at all. And I hope that if he does bring that motion, that is, the motion is not seconded and is not supported in the Legislative Assembly. I never heard such a nonsensical thing in my life. We have a system. If you cannot come to the polls, they go to you, to your house, to and take your vote there, and take your vote there. And I have never heard anyone in Cayman saying that they didn't have a chance to vote. And even people are traveling abroad and students abroad, they can send their absentee ballots by mail. Yes. But to have mail-in ballots in Cayman, as what's happening in America now, I think that that's a very dangerous thing. And for Mr. Bryan, who said that he wants to be a cabinet member and has his eyes on running the country, I think he needs to go back to political school because we don't need that here. We don't need that here. We got rid of that long time ago, and we don't need to go back to there. Everybody in Cayman, its constituencies are small enough, 1,600 people, and if someone can't come, they have them. Yes, they have mobile voting now. Mm-hmm. So we don't need that, okay. And I hope that never ever supported.
Thank you very much, Doc, for that. Give you an opportunity to respond after we take the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just coming back to the female caller that called prior to his last caller. I love to hear what our representatives say in the LA. The problem is that it is too wordy. Lots of each member has a certain amount of time. I think it's like 2 hours to debate, and they ramble and they go off, and it's broadcast at night, and you fall asleep. You fall asleep listening. Because oftentimes politicians or the representatives want to slide in some other points, and which, by the way, sometimes are interesting because it gives an insight into where that particular representative stands on certain issues. Mm-hmm. But it is very, very lengthy and very verbose. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me comment on that. Yeah. On that one first, the last one. For years, I have been on the subcommittee, to look at the standing orders. And one of the things that the speaker was there with me as well for years. He wasn't speaker at the time, though. We have proposed 20 minutes, mm-hmm. and you can yield some time to the person who's speaking. But that shortens everybody else, because then you can only, if you yield 10 to me, then you will only be able to speak 10, you see. And sometimes you can't go through those bills. They are extremely lengthy in a short period of time, so that provision was going to be there. But, interestingly, it was Ralston Anglin who brought a motion to reduce it from 4 hours. So we have changed it. That was 2004. 2004.
So it went from 4 to what?
Well, it went to 4 from an open debate. And then years ago, and then Ralston moved the motion to bring it down to 2 hours, and it has been 2 hours now ever since. And we were proposing to do it for 20 minutes. But then sometimes, like the appropriation bill and truant speech and the likes, there would have to be exceptions for that, Maybe you leave that at 2, but all of the debate 20 minutes, and then we yield to each other. For instance, if the opposition, 5 of us, have an opposition position, a political position on something, then one of us would speak, and we would yield time to that person, and maybe we only need to do 5 minutes or something like that. That's what needs to happen. We need to reach that point. Now that we have passed the law for this autonomy, the next move is to modernize the standing orders, and then that puts me segues nicely into the other caller, is Dr. Steele. See, I don't support all that mail-out ballots and all that kind of stuff. I really don't. Unless somebody can show me where that system can be so robust that we won't have difficulties with it. Because
not only that, the need for it is there.
Right. And I'm coming to that. And Chris can speak for himself. But Steve is right. I have lived this. And it was you, O.C., who we met with, this was 2003 or thereabout, about people requesting ballots. We have heard rumors of them creating their own post office box that go to them, and the people never get back to it. And that's when we had multi-members, and it was all rumors of all kind of shenanigans going on with that. So we came down to this. Now, what I would like to see more of is pre-election day voting, wherein, the emergencies we do now, emergency staff like fire, police, and essential staff, I think we call them. I would like to see more of that. Conducted in the same manner that we do the election day, and they then all counted at the same time.
Because what you would do is you would eliminate some of the postal ballots that are required for those persons who are traveling off the island, that they can vote in advance.
But they're in the custody of the same people. It's not like you send out ballots for them to come back in, and our law says it has to arrive before the polls close of the poll. I would like to see more but what will happen then too, you will find more people voting early and leaving to go away on that day, which is fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which is fine.
Nothing wrong with that, because we make it a holiday. Simply put, one of the reasons for making it a holiday is that you don't have people then being pressured by employers, to get time off to vote. So I think that holiday part of it, makes a whole lot of sense as well.
And I think we should do pre-voting, pre-election voting. Yeah. I think we should do more. We should extend that much more.
We can get results much faster.
Because right now people have to prove they're essential worker and the likes. Mm-hmm. And then if you're infirm or can't get to the poll and you're housebound or something, then you can apply for mobile voting. That must still stay in place, and that is working very well.
No question.
But the one thing that I want to see more is pre-election voting.
That's good. Well, maybe
that's the only thing I'm going to support.
Well, maybe if he comes to someone to second it, then that suggestion could be placed to him.
Hold on. I just want to chime in here. Two things, because in Kenneth's defense, he did mention during the last sitting daily, which was a marathon session. I remember he and I having a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. And to his defense, I didn't listen to his show on Rooster, so I don't know what he said on Rooster. I can only go by what he had said to me. He was speaking about if something arises back in terms of we have an outbreak during this pandemic time, that we needed to look at alternative ways. Because if we go back to the social distancing and limiting people, then, I mean, the conversation that he had with me, I can only speak about that, was that we needed something in place if we open up the borders, because remember now we're talking about opening up early next year, and if we do get an outbreak and we go back to the lockdown and all that kind of situation, is that we need to basically have something in place as an alternative means. Now, that was a conversation he had with me, and it was discussed with me in that context of the pandemic and everything else, that we have something alternative. I don't know what he said on Rooster. If it was along those lines.
But the problem with that is...
Hold on.
Okay,
so from that standpoint, I can understand, because I mean, our memories are sometimes short, what it was like when we had to line up to go supermarket, how many people can be inside, and all that kind of stuff, and especially with our seniors and everything else. So I do understand where he was coming from in that regard. Equally, as we were talking about the off mic during the break, we're talking about the mail-in votes. I remember what I said to you guys, which I say publicly now. I remember in 2013 when I was running, where people had mail-in ballots and would basically call me like, "Oh, Chris, we got a ballot here. I want to vote for you, but come pay me." And I'm like, "Thanks, but no thanks." You know what I mean? So it is a situation where, recognizing a small community where 30, 40, 50 votes make a difference. I mean, I had people calling to say, "Well, I got my ballot now, and I want to vote for you, but, what is in it for me," kind of thing. And the last thing we want is people sitting down in that situation and holding the ballot hostage. And so it is, from a pandemic standpoint, something alternative needs to be looked at in the event, but I do understand where everybody else is coming from.
Okay. Headline news, top of the hour. Folks, please stay tuned. The conversation with MLA, Mr. Christopher Saunders, and the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Arden McLean, will continue after the short break.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have here on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The Cayman Islands Development Bank will be closed to the public today due to weather conditions. For inquiries, call 949-7511 or email cidb.manager@cidb.ky. CIDB customers may make loan payments to the CIDB account online at Cayman National Bank. The Cayman Islands Development Bank apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause. Good morning, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines in news elsewhere. So who's going to be the next United States president? We still don't know because not enough votes have been counted for either Donald Trump or Joe Biden to win. But it's getting closer. The huge number of postal votes cast during this pandemic election and different states' laws about how to count them meant this was always going to take longer if the race was tight. So far, Joe Biden has won the popular vote and by a big margin. But that's not what decides who gets to be president. Instead, a candidate has to win the majority in a system called the Electoral College, where each state gets a certain number of votes or electors roughly in proportion to its population. If you win a state, you win all its votes, except Nebraska and Maine, but that's complicated. There are 538 state votes, and the person who gets 270 wins the prize. So what are we waiting for now? Well, Mr. Biden is on 253 Electoral College votes to Mr. Trump's 214. There are several ways each of them could reach 270. Mr. Biden gets Pennsylvania, that's all he needs. He is over the line. Georgia and any of Nebraska, Arizona, or North Carolina works for him too. Mr. Trump would need Pennsylvania's votes and to win 3 states out of Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, or Arizona. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Christopher Saunders and the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Arden McLean. We have two callers, but we also have to pay attention to those that send in observations or questions through other means as well. And this one says, please say whether you believe that the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands should be changed to $15 per hour based on Cayman being one of the most expensive places to live in the world. This week, voters just changed the law in Florida and demanded that their elected representatives make their minimum wage US $15 per hour. They're also, and their cost of living in Florida is much cheaper than the Cayman Islands. So would you support a people-initiated petition on the ballot next election to raise the minimum wage in Cayman from $6 to $15 per hour? Mr. Saunders?
Well, I can tell you, see, first of all, the minimum wage definitely needs to be increased. As to what the number should be, that I think is a different thing. But I can tell you, I mean, even a rough calculation, and I don't say this lightly, $15 an hour still, if you add it up, won't cut it for many families in Cayman, considering their cost of living. I mean, so from that standpoint, I mean, that'd be equivalent to like maybe 12 US or, 12 CI. So maybe 15 CI can probably do it. But like I said, at the end of the day, one of the things that we need to make sure we don't do is make decisions in an emotive standpoint, because at the end of the day, I mean, a good 70 to 80% of our people are still employed by small businesses. We need to look at the gradual impact that it will have, because at the end of the day, if you look at our two industries, it is still tourism and it is still financial services. I mean, the tourism industry, we compete against a lot of destinations where their pay is very what do we call it? They don't get paid enough. I mean, I'll just say. So there are different things to factor in. I mean, you look at also Caymanians coming out in terms of even building a home. I mean, the construction prices can probably run through the roof and everything else. So there's a lot of factors to factor in. Yeah. But with the good news is that we do have enough information out there. And I think, again, I think in the last I think Kenneth did raise the issue of the minimum wage review. That needs to be done. Now, I personally would like to see, at a minimum, and this is Chris speaking, this is not something we have discussed at our opposition group, I would like to see the minimum wage at least get up to at least $10 an hour. But how it's going to be done is pretty much 1st of January every year.
Gradual,
is one, you add $1 each time. So everybody knows the 1st of January, midnight comes, it moves to $7. The next year, 1st of January, it moves to $8. Something to that effect. But again, that's just a rough thing, but we start to go through, look at the different industries, look at the how they be impacted and how people be able to adjust. It's the same thing as I was mentioning earlier with regards to the vacation, is that, again, we need to get not just all our different regulations that are up to international standards, but the employee benefits need to be up to international standards. And at some point, when we start looking at what would be considered below the poverty line, even in the U.S., and the ESO literally have broken down some of those stats, even using their numbers, we do have income here in Cayman that would be considered below the poverty line in the United States. Of course, they have their safety nets and there are different social programs that can help people. We don't. So there are a lot of different things for us to factor in, and this is, I think, is going to be a very big thing in the next election, and ultimately it's going to be up for the Caymanian people to decide. But I can tell you, one of the things that I will definitely be pushing for is an increase in the minimum wage, and if it's something that the voters see fit as a group that needs to be done, then I think it's something. But ultimately, something needs to be done. Okay. Some of these pay is ridiculous.
Okay, we have two callers on hold. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
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 Yeah, speaking about the unity government, before McKeever Bush signed for that unity government, he should have been promised that the District of West Bay would have received a trade school and a hurricane shelter. A hurricane shelter that is at least 10 feet in height, that is able to hold a preschool and a place for the old people, and is able to hold at least 700 people. And also a place that is able to hold emergency vehicles such as trucks, bulldozers, boats, jet skis, and anything that might be needed after a serious hurricane. And a trade school for our young people. Because in the future, these things are going to be needed. So to say it's a waste of money is foolishness. And the government, especially during these times of so much construction going on, should be collecting all concessions as possible for these types of things to be done. I would also like to see a trade school in Bordentown and one also in Georgetown. And hurricane shelters as the one I just described in every district on this island. And if we have been collecting concessions over the last 20 years, we would have had the money in place to build all these things for our people. We continue to give away millions and billions of dollars worth of concessions to multi-millionaires and billionaires. And our Caymanian people are not getting nothing for the concessions that have been given away.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much for that. Let's take the other caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable
Morning.
Mr. McLean, dear, Arden McLean, and good morning to Emily, to Chris Saunders.
Morning, Mr. H.
It's always good to hear them on the radio because, quite rightly, as Mr. McLean has said, the printed media doesn't really do justice to our system or gives any proper enunciation on elucidation on what is happening in Durham. This is unfortunate, but I won't dwell on that.
It depends on who they like from who they don't.
Yes,
you see.
I understand. But most newspapers in every country, because I remember Florida in particular living there, the Miami Herald, which are giants, and the owners control the racetrack and the different things also there. They were heavily always Republican. Then you find up north and you find with CNN and all that, everybody can see that is heavily Democratic, totally almost. Anyhow, that everybody has a certain bias. We know that. We listen to them. We can hear that in people's voices and what they say.
But in the same token, the papers, whilst they may have a bias, they must report fairly and in a balanced manner.
Mm-hmm. And give the whole thing instead of picking bits and pieces. But what I like to say, the young man made some good points here with getting the shelters finished and all that. But one of our main problems, I've always said it, because if you notice what we did with on minimum wage depends greatly anywhere on your income tax, your salary tax. It depends on that. It depends on it really to be controlled and run. But we noticed what we did with the pensions was we used it, which quite rightly the Premier did and got to do, as what would really be unemployment compensation taxes in any other country. And it's a significant amount of money was sent away. The private sector, a significant amount of money sent away. If that had been paid as an unemployment compensation tax, it would have made the government would have had that money in their coffers, because it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. We saw that, and not all of it was brought back. So there we have one of our major problems, as I've always said. Same thing with the health insurance, major problem here. Anything mandatory must be paid to the government as a tax. anything mandatory. It's mandatory. That's my belief, and I go with that. What I just like to say about this thing with mail-in ballots, I have to agree with Dr. Steve. He said that's not necessary. 21,000, 23,000 people voting. You have 12 hours to vote. I see no problem at all with it. And you have mobile voting and all that. I don't see any, as you said, Mr. O.C., the necessity. Because everything like that is costly to change things unnecessarily. And we don't need that at all. I've never had any problem. I work every election day that I can think of. Go to poll me, it takes 5 minutes sometimes. And there's no need for any crowding or anything like that. The other thing is this. I see no reason, and no one can give me a reason why, and I will forever hold on to this, why there should be any term limits in our system. You're voted in by the people. They'll vote you out when they decide that they've had enough of you. And so a person should stay there as long as they're voted in. Make it, the longer you can stay there, the more you learn about the system.
They should stay there as long as they're effective.
As they're elected. Because they're elected by the people, the democratic process. If we were to place term limits and say you're out now, then there may be thousands or hundreds of people who say.
But what do you do with a member of your legislative assembly who's simply sitting there collecting a salary and not being effective at all, not really being productive in a positive way in terms
how do you
of
define
engagement?
That,
I'll tell you how I define my representative,
right.
What he is able to deliver for me and my constituency.
Absolutely.
That is how I define
So you remove him.
That's my measure of effectiveness.
So you remove him then.
Go ahead, caller.
So you remove him.
Huh?
So the people then should remove him.
They have a reason to.
Right. So I am saying to you, you don't put a limit on him. The people will limit him. That's what Mick is saying.
Got you. Caller, a wrap up, please, for us.
Yes, I'll say this also, because you were all talking about it, so I wouldn't tell you what rest. The premier, the person is elected, so that's the democratic process. But they are elected, so as long as they get elected, then they have a right to be there. If you disagree or I disagree with the person's, the next door neighbor might not disagree, so. But the premier, it should never be a term limit on that. I don't see any reason for it. No one can tell me that if the leader of a party keeps, and that party wins again and again for 12 years or whatever, if we decide to make it a 5-year term, which I'm in favor of, that glory, so be it.
But Mickey, if I may, let's look at the mature countries like England. You see what they do? The party take them out. I could bet you today, this morning, Mickey, that Boris Johnson cannot last until the middle of next year. You think it's the people that move him? Is the party that move him?
Yeah, the party. Well, that's what the Westminster system is all about.
That's right. That's right, old boy.
Caller, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. We passed our commercial break. We have to go to the commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have two callers, but I have an announcement that I've been asked to make in relation to funeral plans for tomorrow. And I think this is from Borden Funeral Home. The funeral service for the late Alita Scott, of Cayman Brac has been moved from 2 p.m. tomorrow to 9 a.m. tomorrow. So for those of you in the Brac, the funeral service for Alita Scott on Cayman Brac, it has been moved from 2 p.m. to 9 a.m. 9 in the morning rather than 2 in the afternoon. And the funeral service for Cecile McCarran, scheduled for tomorrow 3 p.m., has been postponed, and updated funeral arrangements will be announced at a later date. So that's the funeral for Cecile McCarran that was scheduled for tomorrow 3 p.m. has been postponed and will be rescheduled. Funeral arrangements will be announced for a later date as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Yossi, and good morning to your guest.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
I'm so glad to hear all of you on the radio, or Mr. MLA Chris, and I used to hear people calling him Christopher, but I know his name is Christopher. Anyway, good morning to all of you.
Let me tell you something. Chris hates that Christopher.
And actually, I don't mind it. No, it's actually a term of endearment. But my father used to call him Christopher when I was about to get whooped.
And my father named me Vincent, and I prefer Arden. Let me say that.
Well, my name is Shirlene, and when my mother was angry at me, she called me Shirlena, and I know what I was going to get. So anyway, putting that all aside, OC know and the people know of this island that I've been begging on the radio concerning a hurricane shelter. I mean an emergency shelter. I look at the many mental people now that is here in this island. I'm talking about West Bay in particular because that's where I'm from. Walking about, don't have anywhere to go, sleeping in cabanas on the West Bay Public Beach, sleeping on people's porches, which Mr. Chris seen that, and things like that. And I keep thinking, now we're faced with bad weather. Where do we put these people? Now, a hurricane shelter was promised for West Bay. I think it was just loan hot air for the time being. Shortly after 2004 Ivan, I was working in the school hall where we use as a shelter, West Bay Primary School Hall, and we were promised that by our leader then. And 2004, now is 2020, soon be 21. God spares our lives. I hope He spares all of us, and weather wouldn't be bad. But we still don't have a shelter. Then another question I need to ask. I don't quite understand when they say a stipend for all tourism workers. Now, is that for everyone, or that's just for the Cayman people? Why I'm saying that, because I know that the chains of hotels like Westin and the Ritz-Carlton and the Marriott still have people here working. Are we, the government, paying for those people, which we shouldn't be, because they are responsible for their people? They got them here. We're not good enough to work in their hotels, or we're not trained enough to work in their hotels. So are we paying them too, or are they, or we just paying the Caymanians? I don't mind paying the Caymanians who are in tourism, because I was in tourism most of my working life, and so is my husband. So that's the question I would like to have answered if you can. I thank you all, and I wish you all a safe day and a blessed weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. And the same to you. Okay. Let me discuss that one first. You see, you remember the lady who called in about not having the information? This is where it happens. We get from the government couple days before we go into Delhi Chris help me, appropriation bill. Meaning we have to go in finance committee and approve more monies, and because they are required to bring it back to us within a period of time after they have utilized. They have gone outside what was approved by the Legislative Assembly. So, the last question the lady just asked about stipend for non-Caymanians in the tourism industry. We just approved a $2 million stipend for that purpose that was approved by Cabinet. Remember when we say we were going to give them monies, OC? Well, we approved that $2 million. However, it was less than $1 million spent, right? Like 700,000 or something. So we had 1.3 left, which was utilized for other areas. But that has now been stopped. And you see, if people, like you say, people can't listen to their and sit down there all day, and this is typical. Then you have to explain it again after the fact. So that has been stopped. and all those who were here. And the reason it was done, which I supported, I want everybody to know I supported that, was because we had locked our borders. We said no planes going out, none coming in. Remember, we had to try and get some of the Filipinos all the way down to Philippines by engaging British Airways. All that was dealt with in Finance Committee, the monies we paid. That's the kind of thing countries must do when they're in these situations. So I supported that, but now we are inviting people to leave at will, those who are not back at work, those in the tourism industry, and they are leaving. People are leaving. They're going to their homes, their homeland. So that is now exhausted. We have just extended, the government has just extended the tourism stipend till January, it is, another 3 months. Yeah. I think it's till January or February, one of those months. So that too is a responsibility for government, and that's $1,000 per month, which will not necessarily give you everything, but it will ease up on all of your most of your major bills to keep your family intact. And in some instances, when you have two members of the family working, they may be in a different industry, and that assists. But let me talk briefly, OC, about the shelter for homeless.
Okay. We're going to do that after the commercial break. To take the commercial break. Okay. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. No, classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today, it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Whether you're finishing a new condo, upgrading your rental property, or simply renovating, make Roper's Enterprises your first stop. Quality furniture at a fraction of the price. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Roper's, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Roper's Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Your home deserves a quality finish. Visit their showroom or shop online at ropers.ky. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health. Would you like to win some extra cash for Christmas? Yes, cash. Well, here's your chance to do so. The Cayman Islands Netball Association, CINA, is having their Cash Showrama fundraiser, which was postponed due to the lockdown. The Cash Showrama will now be held on December 19th at Constitution Hall, formerly the Georgetown Town Hall. There are 4 top prizes of $1,000 each, plus 10 prizes of $100 pure hard cold cash. You don't have to be present to win, so get your ticket today from any player or association member. Donation is only $15. All previous tickets purchased for the Casharama will be honored. Great entertainment and food will be on sale. Proceeds from the event will go towards the Netball Development Program that will help improve the international ranking of all the squads. The Cayman Islands Netball Association, Casharama, coming December 19th. CINA, a registered charity organization.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have one caller. After this caller, we're going to cut the phone lines for a while to give the panel here an opportunity to respond in more details to some of the comments and questions that were posed as well. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning again, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning again, sir.
Again.
Mr. McLean and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You all know doctors and nurses we have working at our Georgetown Hospital?
I have no idea.
I don't have that number off, I know.
Okay. Well, around the world today with this coronavirus, a shortage of doctors and nurses is becoming a problem when it comes to this coronavirus. And also, a place to take care of them, such as hospitals. And I think it's time now for the government to decide that we need another hospital here in the Cayman Islands. A hospital that is able to at least hold at least 1,200 patients. Because right now, I'm not too sure when it comes to the intensive care unit. But from what I heard, there are not too many people that are able to be in there because of the shortage of space. So this is another thing where it's so important for us to be collecting concessions, which is the people's money, you know. It's the people's money. Mm-hmm. And building things that are needed and are very important, such as a hospital and other things that I mentioned already this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Gentlemen?
Yeah, well, first of all, in terms of the global shortage of doctors and nurses, I think around the world, that is, as the caller rightfully said, that is definitely something that's of concern for us. I know Mr. McLean always speaks about his program, which he pushes every meeting when we meet, in terms of finding a way to really spend some money, invest in our kids, so that they can become the doctors and the nurses that we need. And that's one of the things I think everyone would support. With regards to the beds, what I can say is that there is also a global standard where we look at like beds per 100,000, kind of that scenario. And what I can say is that where the Cayman Islands is, with regards to beds per 100,000, we are better than the US, the UK, and many different places. So there is not a shortage of beds here compared to our population. What I can say, the issue that came up through in the coronavirus issue wasn't just the beds per se, but the kind of beds that we needed, because there were certain type of beds, and it's kind of slipping me right now, where we needed beds with the ventilators and so forth, which was a particular use that many countries were struggling for. And I think, give credit where credit is due, that the government did go out and put the necessary provisions in place that if we did have an outbreak, that we would have been able to have managed our situation at an acceptable level. So I think from that standpoint, but like with anything else, this is always about forward planning. And this is the reason why we wanted to put that committee together, to basically look at the future pensions, look at the future disability. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that we don't do enough of is a lot of future planning within the country where we can start looking at these things. With regards to concessions, I completely agree. The Auditor General did an extensive report on that already. And in a nutshell, one of the things that came out of that report was the lack of monitoring for these concessions. So you put something in place, and it is, how do you go and enforce it? And this goes back to one of the things that the previous caller was speaking about, where they're talking about, what's going on in some of these hotels. I can tell you, matter of fact, yesterday when I called you in my frustration, and I'm going to say it publicly, what had triggered my call to you about, and I would say, I called OC and I said, OC, please tell me you're seriously thinking about coming back to work in government or doing something, because there is a lack of enforcement culture in this country right now. And I remember there was a time when people used to take our laws very seriously. And now both our immigration laws and our labor laws are basically being just disregarded by many different organizations. And until we start returning a culture where people are prosecuted. And what triggered it is just the night before I got a call from one of my constituents, where, one of their relatives was actually laid off in a hotel, basically being sent home when permit holders were being kept on. And I made the necessary calls to the powers that be, and I put powers that be in quotation, to say, well, there's something that needs to be looked at. Can you please take a look at it, me? And OC, I'm going to tell you straight up, the bureaucratic red tape and the bureaucratic answer that was given to me, it took every single ounce out of me. And I got to be honest with you, this is the one time, there are times I actually do miss being unelected, because back then I could have just said what I wanted to say and chant on Babylon if need be. But now I try to say, well, Chris, you hold a public office. I represent other people. I need to carry myself in a particular way. But don't think for 1 minute that sometime that old Chris wants to snap out sometime. And I remember calling even another colleague of mine and say, what, do me a favor. I know you know this person well. Set him straight for me. Because I guarantee you the next time when the crazy Chris come out, you're not going to like it. You know what I mean? And I even went as far as to even was going to call for the chief officer, even dial the chief officer number. Then I didn't get him. I said, thank God, it's a sign. And when he called him back, I like, you know what? I calm down now, I cool off. And that's why I called and said that I said to you. But there is that issue. And until we start taking our laws and our stuff seriously, and also I got to be honest right now, and I'm going to say something, and it is what it is. I'm a politician. My bosses are voters in this country. And I'm going to tell you right now, what matters to the voters of this country is what it is I'm going to advocate for. It's as simple as that. You go where the majority of the people want you to go. This is democracy. This is what it's about. And as it stands right now, I work for the Caymanian people and what's in the best interest of the Caymanian people. And I think this is the kind of culture that needs to return. But we got some people right now, they're scared of their own shadow. They're afraid. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Mr. McLean, anything to
add? No. Chris gets passionate about this thing, so do I. I mean, when I go east and take them, show them what repairs needs to be done on the Civic Center, I shouldn't have to be doing that. That's not our job as politicians. That's not our jobs. As representatives, you make sure that the system is provided and stuff. But briefly on this concession thing, well, I believe that concessions are good, but they must be controlled, and you cannot give away people's money. But more importantly, that it must be done in a transparent manner. And the Minister Hugh and the Premier has said they are not disclosing those concessions they made with anyone because it's commercially sensitive. Now you tell me, OC, what is commercially sensitive about the people's money?
By national security, the public business cannot be done in private.
Absolutely. You need to make these things known. But, we don't do it. So that's this government.
What is your pledge if you
become the government? If we become government, it's going out there. Because
transparent. It has to be transparent.
And if we become government, and it's not going to be 100% concessions either. We will give you the concessions, and because the reason people apply for concessions,
the concessions should only be given if it is in the interest of the people of the Cayman Islands, not in the interest of those who are wanting to come and invest in the Cayman Islands, unless at the end of the day, the ultimate benefit is to the people of the Cayman Islands. We should not grant them, because right now we're not wanting for people to come to invest in the Cayman Islands. We're not begging for them to come.
Well, I take it even further, OC. I believe that you need to give incentives to attract people that for things that is needed.
Yeah, but if they're coming to you saying that I want to,
but those,
I want to invest. Go ahead. I understand what you're saying.
And I give you 25% and concession. The other 75%, you see that they come to you and say that they need that cash now up front. Well, the other 75%, you're going to pay over a period of time. That's all. And there are certain conditions attached to it, like how many people you're going to engage, what kind. We have done this before and nobody enforces it. You know, you remember the Ritz-Carlton was supposed to give us so much scholarships. You remember they were supposed to do so much training. Nothing has been done. Nothing has been done.
Yeah. On Wednesday, I read something about local content that the World Bank spoke about, especially for these oil-producing countries, and in particular Guyana, you know, with their windfall now that they're going to see in terms of oil, and, you know, insisting that there is sufficient local content, and that local content means local participation, you know, by either workers or businesses or everything else. We're going to take our last commercial break for the morning. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Phone Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior, an 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology, and power features. Tough. Built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was
2020 vision, not the year.
Right. Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. For the public interest, just in Cayman Brac, just one more announcement as well to share with you. The funeral service for the late Marlene Myrie on Cayman Brac has been moved from 2 p.m. tomorrow to 9 a.m. tomorrow. That is the funeral service for the late Marlene Myrie on Cayman Brac has been moved from 2 p.m. tomorrow until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, Marlene Myrie. That's
Same
another one.
same
It's another
funeral
one.
people.
Yeah. Same funeral service.
You have plenty of people
as well. Yeah. Okay. So, Jackman, we're getting near to the end of the show. I think, in all fairness to Mr. MLA, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, I don't believe any of us really heard what he proposed on another talk show, but certainly if his motivation is concern about the scheduled elections in Cayman in May of next year and the possible continuation of the pandemic, if his concern is about that and how people should go about voting, then there is some merit to it.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't hear what he said on the radio, but I can say that he did discuss it with me in terms of, looking at alternative methods in the event that, there's a pandemic, there's a breakout or something. So, and I don't think, I think at a minimum it's a conversation or a discussion that needs to take place in terms of how we would operate. Sure. Now, I have seen the mobile voting, how it works. I like how the process goes, especially when it comes on to the seniors, and to show that there's no influence or anything around. So if it's a situation where we need to ramp up the mobile voting or the provision of the mobile voting, I think it's something that needs to be looked at. But at a minimum, I do share the concerns that Arden raised and also Mr. Steve Macfield raised with regards to, how some people doing the ballots. And I can go back to my 2013 experience where someone wanted to say, I have my mail-in ballot right here. Do you want, something for me to vote for you, that kind of thing. So it is something I am aware of. And in a small community where you have 20, 30, 40, 50 people, you're paying somebody $50 to $100 to vote for you. That's a small drop in the bucket. So there are definitely concerns. And like I said, I didn't live through the stories, but I heard the stories about the mobile, those postal ballots and everything else. I heard the stories too. I've been on earlier and I've heard some guys talk about, how much this one used to get and how much that one used to get. Yeah, I've heard the stories.
Elections were won based on postal ballots.
Yeah. And so they didn't, and how many voters, they ended up spoiling their votes because when they sat around the table to distribute them, the certificate of identity that would have a ballot paper number on it and things like that, they got them mixed up, and if they didn't match up at the end of the day, then you couldn't allow it.
You used to work in the election, so you would know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget, you need to, we're going to share with our audience the letter.
Oh yes.
That was written by the Attorney General.
In a nutshell, we after the events where Mr. Miller was unable to table the report. There's first of all there's the Auditor General's report, and then there's also the PSC report. So in terms of the committee, and then there's the Auditor General independent work that do everything. In a nutshell, Mr. Miller, it wasn't, from what I understand, it was approved by the Business Committee of the House, which the Business Committee consists of the Premier, the Deputy Premier, Mr. Miller, Alva Suku, I think Bernard Bush is also on it, and also Austin, I believe, are members of that committee. Okay. And they're the ones that pretty much set out the agenda for the House and everything else. So that report, or those reports, were actually approved by the Business Committee in terms of what goes on the agenda. And that is ultimately the first approval right there, is that the Business Committee decide what goes on the order paper. And that is a standing committee of the House also, approved by a majority of the members of the House. So when Mr. Miller was unable to table their report, he did speak to myself. I know and it's my understanding he spoke to other PSC members also with that regards. Now, at the time, we didn't understand or the reasons why the speaker did what he did. Like I said, Mr. Miller did, in fairness, ask about what provision is standing order, and I don't remember any being given. But what we did ask Mr. Miller as committee members was to, and he did circulate to all of us, a draft response to go to the Attorney General asking to get a legal opinion, because at the end of the day, the Attorney General is also the legal advisor not only to the Cabinet but also to the Legislative Assembly. So Mr. Miller did the right thing as the chairperson and asked the committee's permission to reach out to the Attorney General to get a legal opinion. He sent us the draft. We approved that by round robin, and the message that was going to the Attorney General to ask for the an opinion, a legal opinion on the Speaker's ruling. Now, we had a PSC admin meeting, a Public Accounts Committee admin meeting yesterday, and this issue did come up as one of the issues on the agenda. And what I can say is that we did receive 2 sets of correspondences from the Attorney General chambers. I understand the one that was sent to Ezard from the Attorney General, the memorandum, was actually released to the public.
Yes.
But then we as committee members also received a second memorandum to the Attorney General from a member of his team. And this is literally a 2-page report that is actually very detailed with regards to all the research. And again, credit to the young lady on his team that did the work. It's clear it was a well-researched document in terms of summation, the parts of the Constitution. They went also in the UK, House of Commons, everything. So it is a detailed response.
Okay.
But what he did was, based on the detailed response that he received, he sent this to Mr. Miller, and I'll just read it to the public. And this is what was actually released to the public that the committee actually approved. And the other one, which we consider to be internal between himself and his team member, which he shared with us, we don't think that was actually prudent to put that one in the public. But it's something that's available. The memo reads, to D. Ezard Miller, Chairman, Public Accounts Committee, and it was copied to the Honorable Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, and also Zena Marinchin, Clerk of the Legislative Assembly, and also Patricia Priestley, who is the clerk on the Public Accounts Committee, from the Attorney General, and is dated November 5th, 2020. And the subject line says, unilateral decision of Speaker on Public Accounts Committee, report and the Auditor General's report on OFREG. And it says, we refer to your memorandum of October 30th, 2020, read the above. Please see attached advice prepared by the chambers. In essence, we are unable to find any provision in the Constitution or the Legislative Assembly standing orders which require the Honourable Speaker to verify the information contained in the PSC report prior to its tabling in the Legislative Assembly in circumstances where the Business Committee had decided that the report should be placed on the order paper for a particular day. And that's pretty much, we so advise, and it's signed Sam Bulgin. The thing about it, OC, why I think this is, and I'm glad that the committee agreed to take this further. I went back to my last speech that I did in the Legislative Assembly, and I spoke about the creation of institutions as opposed to individuals, because what has dominated the Caribbean and other places has been that cult of personality. And you can see people are becoming more aware of it when they speak about the term limits to premier and term limits to politician, is that you get these larger-than-life personalities that take every vacuum out of the room, that sometimes people are so enamored and caught up that they allow their emotions to get the benefit of their intellect. And as a result, you see some people, I mean, like I said, for whatever reasons, over and over and over, and the possibility of sometimes getting new ideas, fresh ideas, just sometimes lose sight of reasoning. And so it is important for us that we put institutions in place to carry out the policies and carry out the laws and carry out what it is that betters the country. The minute we start getting down into these individual cult of personalities and we have the individuals over the institutions, then we have a problem. And one of the things I did highlight in my speech was back to 1789, where George Washington was one of them that was hell-bent against political parties. Because at the time of the founding of their republic, bearing in mind now democracy was in its infancy stage and every other country around them had monarchs. And they wanted all energies focused on building the institution of democracy as opposed to individuals' quest for power. And he said it, that the minute a party gets elected or a party is formed, the first thing they're focused on is maintaining power and getting power. And what they wanted was all energies focused on pushing democracy through, because at that time, you had people who were still pushing back that maybe America should have an elected king. You know, so these were the kind of mindset that was going in. And whether we want to accept it or not, democracy is still the youngest form of governance that we have today. It is still only 200 plus years old compared to going back centuries where you had kings and queens and all of these different tyrants and everything else. So we need to be I think it was Thomas Jefferson basically said, if men were angels, there'd be no use for our government. But basically, because we're not, we need to build these institutions. And I think that is really what it comes down to, is this institution where we start taking away a lot of decisions from individuals. You've been on the immigration board, you've been in the immigration process, and you see in many situations where yesteryears gone by, you have a partner and someone from overseas come and they fool your partner, they go on immigration and get a person thrown off the island, not realizing that you're, in a sense, bringing government into your love life.
Yes.
So we need to get into the habit where we take the government. I'm one of them who believe in small government and people power, where we take the government out of people's lives. We institutionalize as much as we can and do away with individualism. And so I'm glad to see, at the end of the day, the Public Accounts Committee, which is established by Section 87 of the Constitution, it's in the new Constitution. It was in the 72 Constitution, and it was also in the 59 Constitution. And I'm glad Mr. McLean here actually reminded me of that too, in terms of why the Public Accounts Committee is embedded in the Constitution, even though it's a standing committee of the Legislative Assembly. It's that kind of add the importance of it. So at the end of the day, the work of the Public Accounts Committee and the work of the Auditor General, no offense to anyone, no disrespect to anyone, is something that we should take very serious. And I can tell, as a PSC member, it's one of my most sacred responsibilities as being a government watchdog. So I am glad that the Attorney General did this, and I'm glad the committee agreed to make it public.
Okay. Mr. McLean, some closing comments?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, and I'm glad Chris went through all that lengthy discussion and explanation, because the more we do that, the better people understand what the system is, and how it works. Because, one thing I'm happy of these young boys, if I may.
Yeah, no, and you may. And you may know. I gotta be honest.
You can say boys if you were in the U.S.
I gotta be honest with you, OC, not to cut you out. When I started out, before Arden was leader of opposition, I used to sit beside him. And I gotta be honest with you, I really do miss sitting beside him. Because I could have turned around and Arden tell me so-and-so. And he has a wealth of knowledge when I come on to the parliament. And I really miss sitting beside him, I won't lie.
And he's getting there, and they're all getting there. That's why I said to the Premier the other day, when you and I came in here, they used to call us Young Turks. You remember that, OC? And we had the best teachers in the world. People like Gilbert and Kurt and McKeever and name them, Edna and Mr. Ryan from Timon Brack, Linford, Roy, Gilbert, name it, Frank McPhail. These guys taught us this thing, and by their actions and lack of actions and by their spoken word, they taught us these things.
Well, Chris spoke about these larger-than-life politicians and stuff. It looks like the U.S. is getting rid of one.
Yeah,
we have a few more. We have.
I hope so.
Jair Bolsonaro.
Not that's personal.
We have Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil, who is doing so much damage to the Amazon and so much damage to the people of Brazil as well. And there are a few more. The UK has one too.
But it is not fair for us as other politicians to be commenting extensively.
But I would say this much. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful or rude or anything. But in a country of almost 330 million people, the best is really Trump and Biden, seriously? No, I am dead serious. I mean...
Yes.
But I won't go no further.
Okay, gentlemen, I want to thank you, folks. I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15. Wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity. We're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Community radio with a different appeal. The voice of the people. Security through adversity. Stuck on you. Radio for all time.
You're listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have, on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Due to the forecasted weather deterioration as Tropical Storm Eta passes west of the Cayman Islands tomorrow, November 7th, the Port of Georgetown, Grand Cayman, and the Port of Creek, Cayman Brac, will be closed to vessel berthing at its facilities from today until further notice. The Berkeley Bush Cargo Distribution Center on Portland Road and the billing office will be open as normal today, but will not open tomorrow. So, all importers who have goods cleared and ready to collect, you're encouraged to do so today if possible. The Cargo Distribution Center and Billing Office will reopen on Tuesday, and customers will be advised when berthing of vessels will resume based on the sea state. Good morning once again. I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, U.S. Democratic candidate Joe Biden has pulled ahead of Donald Trump in Georgia, a key state in the U.S. presidential race, voting data has shown. Mr. Trump must win Georgia to leave him with a path to win the election. According to the most recent data, Mr. Biden is leading the state by more than 1,000, with 99% of votes counted. With its 16 electoral college votes, winning the state would put Mr. Biden just one shy of the crucial 270 threshold needed to win the presidency. And at least 50 people have been killed by landslides in Guatemala after Tropical Storm Eta's torrential rain and high winds battered the Central American country. Guatemalan President Alejandro Giammattei said around half the deaths were in a single town where a hillside collapsed, buried some 20 houses under thick mud. Eta made landfall in neighboring Nicaragua as a hurricane on Tuesday. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
RC Fusion.
Brought to you by Nathan General Maintenance and Construction. You break it, they fix it. Call the General for a free quote. 917-7586.
RC Fusion.
TC Paint Shop.
The TC Paint Shop is the authorized dealer for Sherwin-Williams in the Cayman Islands. 943-0565, 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. We are so looking forward to serving you soon.
RC Fusion.
Brought to you by K&A Janitorial. A cleaner home is a good step forward for your mental peace. It's time to call K&A Janitorial Services at 326-3379.
RC Fusion.
And the Georgetown Farmers Market. It's time you start eating local. The market at the Cricket Grounds. Proudly Caymanian and 100% fresh.
RC Fusion. RC Fusion.
This
ain't your mama. Boy, I ain't your mama. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama, no. I ain't your mama, no. Wake up, arise and shine. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get to work on time. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No more playing video games. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Things are about to change. Round here, round here. We used to be crazy in love. Can we go back to how it was? When did you get too comfortable? 'Cause I'm too good for that. I'm too good for that. Just remember that. Hey, I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. Boy, I ain't your mama. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No. You're lucky to have these curves. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop getting on my nerves. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You still trying to ride this train? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Some things have gotta change. Round here, we used to be crazy in love. Can we go back to how we was? When did you get too comfortable? 'Cause I'm too good for that. I'm too good for that. Just remember that. I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama. Boy, I ain't your mama. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No, I ain't your mama. No. We used to be crazy in love. Can we go back to how it was? When did you get too comfortable? 'Cause I'm too good for that. I'm too good for that. Just remember that. Hey, I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. I ain't your mama. Hey, I ain't your mama. No, no, I ain't your mama. No, no. When you gonna get your act together? 'Cause I ain't your mama. Hey, I ain't gonna be cooking all day. I ain't your mama. I ain't gonna do your laundry. 'Cause I ain't your mama. Hey, I ain't your mama. No, no, no. I ain't your mama. No, no, no. When you gonna get your act together? I ain't your mama. No, 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 I ain't your mama. No.
She ties her hair up tight, puts her armor on when she steps outside. She lives in black and white, and the color's gone, but it's in her eyes. Yeah, time and time again we're going back to the start, and I try again to bring some light to the dark. You know, every day's a battle and it tears her apart, and I don't know why. And I'm picking up the pieces when they fall to her feet. She's been fighting off the demons, though she'll never be free. She's been hiding in the shadows, yeah, it's hard to believe. No, I don't know why. Love, don't ever change the way you are. You light the sky just like a star. I don't care what you say, you're beautiful to me. She never gets it right, and it feels like rain on a perfect night. And I'll be a hand to hold. She can push me hard, but I won't let go. Yeah, time and time again we're going back to the You light the sky just like a star. I don't care what you see, you're beautiful. Love, don't ever change the way you are. You light the sky just like a star. I don't care what you see, you're beautiful. Love, open your heart and let it go. You're so amazing, don't you know? I don't care what you see, you're beautiful to me.
In case you did not hear, Cayman is the most expensive place to live. You have to do what you can to conserve. Did you know that maintaining your appliances on a regular schedule can help save thousands of dollars in costly breakdowns and electricity bills? Call Nathan General Maintenance and Construction to find out how you can start saving money today. They specialize in all home repairs from appliances, flooring, electrical, AC units, home repairs, and big construction jobs. Call the General for a free quote at 917-7586.
Nathan General Maintenance and Construction. You break it, they fix it. Call the General for a free quote, 917-7586. All Radio Cayman listeners, take 5 to 10% off your home project with Nathan General Maintenance and Construction. Just mention you heard it on Radio Cayman.
It's not just another day is paradise. It's a pumpkin paradise. Monday, November 9th at the market at the Cricket Grounds. It's the time of year when fall season is here. Explore all of the fall flavors that the Cayman Islands has to offer. Fresh produce, candles, soaps, crafts, pastries, juices, pumpkin carvings, and more. Make your day in paradise a pumpkin paradise at the market at the Cricket Grounds. Monday, November 9th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Proudly Caymanian and 100% fresh. Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic. Your life connected.
Divina, como quisiera tenerte en mi vida. Ver tu silueta en la cocina. Como quisiera amanecer contigo. Tener un hijo y ver cómo caminas. A ciegas, iba esperando a ver si me llega. Ese día en que tú me quieras, pero no me dejas amar. No sé quién pueda hacer que esta desconfianza muera. Yo loco de que tú me veas y no veo la oportunidad. Quiero que seas mi mundo, pero siempre andas corriendo. Mi amor, dime lo que tengo que hacer para conquistarte, bebé. Si hasta ciegas camino, por ti hasta pierdo el destino. ¿Por qué te comportas tan cruel? Dime lo que tengo que hacer, mujer. Sigo esperando que Cupido te fleche. Ya le hice rimiota con Divina y tú ni te apareces. Buscando, buscando y siempre el amor fallece. Yo sigo detrás de ti, tú no te compadeces. Constante, quiero llenar esa vacante. Llenarte de besos, amarte y ser tu acompañante en el frío. Quiero que estés al lado mío. Yo dando todo por ti y tú en tu libre albedrío. ¿De qué vale seguir yo conquistándote si me tienes en tu lista de fracaso? En una confusión de mente y corazón. Y por si acaso, bonito para enamorarte. ¿De qué vale seguir yo conquistándote si me tienes en tu lista de fracaso? En una confusión de mente y corazón. Y por si acaso, bonito para enamorarte. Vivo esperando a ver si me llegas. Ese día en que tú me quieras.
Yo sé que tú no sabes que yo quiero estar contigo, me desespero y yo me quedo sin aliento. Si estás de frente yo me muero. Algo que me encanta, tu mirada, sonrisa, tu cuerpo, bebé. Y yo quiero tenerte, pero no encuentro el momento. Fallando en conquistarte, yo loco por darte un beso. Y yo quiero tenerte, pero no encuentro el momento. Fallando en conquistarte, yo loco por darte un beso. Yo loco por darte un beso. Yo loco por darte un beso. Yeah. Bonito para enamorarte. Divina. Y esta vez con Wilbar y Alex.
A Neudi, el señor guitarra.
Bonito para enamorarte.
Hoy llega Johnny Fresh.
Bonito para enamorarte.
Estas colaboraciones solo ocurren para momentos especiales, baby.
Auténtico al imparable.
Divino Music.
Divino Music. Yeah.
El maestro divino. Esto es KR Entertainment. Dímelo, Dressi. Rock Music.
Ay, palita mía, guárdate la poesía, guárdate la alegría para ti.
No pido que todos los días sean de sol. No pido que todos los viernes sean de fiesta. Y tampoco te pido que vuelvas rogando perdón si lloras con los ojos secos y hablando de ella. Ay, amor, me duele tanto que te fueras sin decir a dónde. Ay, amor, fue una tortura perderte.
Yo sé que no he sido un santo, pero lo puedo arreglar, amor.
No solo de pan vive el hombre y no de excusas vivo yo.
Solo de errores aprende y hoy sé que es tuyo mi corazón.
Mejor te guardas todo eso, te perras con ese hueso y nos decimos adiós. Yo puedo pedir que el invierno perdone un rosal. Te puedo pedir a los olmos que entreguen peras. Yo puedo pedirle lo eterno a un simple mortal y andar arrojando a los cerdos miles de perlas.
Ay, amor, me duele tanto que no creas más en mis promesas.
Ay, amor,
Es una tortura
perderte.
Yo sé que no he sido un santo, pero lo puedo arreglar, amor.
No solo de pan vive el hombre y no de excusas vivo yo.
Solo de errores aprende y hoy sé que es tuyo mi corazón.
Mejor te guardas todo, es otro perro con ese hueso y nos decimos adiós.
No te bajes, oye negrita, mira, no te rajes. De lunes a viernes tienes mi amor, déjame el sábado a mí que es mejor. Oye mi negra, no me castigues más porque allá afuera sin ti no tengo paz. Yo solo soy un hombre arrepentido, soy como el ave que vuelve a su nido. Yo sé que no he sido un santo.
club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, tripping fast, and then we talk slow. And you come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand, stop it, and the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And now I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room. And now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with your body. 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 Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. When we came, we let the story begin. We're going out on our first date. You and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up your bag and I fill up the plate. We talk for hours and hours about the sweet and the sour and how your family's doing okay. And leaving, getting a taxi, kissing the backseat, tell the driver make the radio play. And I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. And now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with your body. 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 Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby, come on. 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 I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room. Now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, come on, be I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, come on, be I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. Come on, be I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
In Grand Cayman, some things just go together nicely, like Christmas time at Cayman Style Beef, 7 Mile Beach, and a beautiful sunset, sandbars, stingrays. Cox Lumber has teamed with TCE Paint Shop, the exclusive Sherwin-Williams dealer in the Cayman Islands. You can now find a Sherwin-Williams Paint Center inside both Cox Lumber locations. Sherwin-Williams award-winning architectural paints and sundries. Our paint experts will help you with all of your painting projects. More info at coxlumberltd.com. Some things just go together nicely, like Cox Lumber and TCE Paint Shop, the authorized Sherwin-Williams dealer in the Cayman Islands, inside both Cox Lumber
Digital
locations.
is not a buzzword, it is a culture. At Digicel, we've made it our mission to enrich your digital lives. That's why we're bringing together more of all the experiences you love. The latest shows, the best of local and international music and radio, live sports, cloud storage, breaking news, HD video chats, and more. Welcome to Digital at Digicel, the Caribbean's fastest mobile network. Digicel, better together.
Due to the forecasted weather deterioration, as Tropical Storm Eta passes west of the Cayman Islands, the port in Grand Cayman and in Cayman Brac will be closed to vessel berthing at its facilities today until further notice. The Berkeley Bush Cargo Distribution Center on Portland Road and the billing office will be open as normal today, but will not open tomorrow. So we encourage all importers who have goods cleared and ready to collect to do so today if possible. The Cargo Distribution Center and billing office will reopen on Tuesday, and berthing of vessels will resume as weather permits.
Hey yo, Cayman, it's your boy Rico Orlando, and you're listening to DJ Link.
All day long.
I listen all the time.
Every day.
All day.
We plan on going home, the music, no time to think. And when we start
Hi, Cayman. It's Erica Asai, and you're listening to Radio Cayman.
Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum bum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum bum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum bum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum. All I have are my two eyes, but you keep on blinding me. You sprinkle me for that cheeky smile. You're the only one I wanna see. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now. Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum. So this is what it feels like. Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum. I've missed your loving all my life. Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum. Some of them running, them can't escape it. Suppress the feeling, them just can't hide it. Pretending every day, every night, pretending but they know that they like it. Ringing, they just don't give up. Sending me stuff. My, oh my, just give me what I need, what I like. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now. Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum, shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum. On my waist dikim bi dum bum, on my waist. In this place right now, in my feet right now, on my waist right now, a little taste of right now. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, a little taste of right now. Shiki dum dum dikim bi dum bum. Shiki, give me what I need. Shiki, give me what I need, what I like. Give me what I need. Shiki, give me what I need, what I like. In this place right now, shiki dum dum biki bi dum bum. On my face right now, on my waist. You're the only one. You're the only one. You're the only one I wanna see. In this place right now, on my face right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now. In this place right now, on my feet right now, on my waist right now, I lick a taste of right now.
In Grand Cayman, some things just go together nicely. Like Christmas time at Cayman Style Beef, 7 Mile Beach, and a beautiful sunset. Sandbars, Stingrays. Cox Lumber has teamed with TCE Paint Shop, the exclusive Sherwin-Williams dealer in the Cayman Islands. You can now find a Sherwin-Williams Paint Center inside both Cox Lumber locations. Sherwin-Williams award-winning architectural paints and sundries. Our paint experts will help you with all of your painting projects. More info at coxlumberltd.com. Some things just go together nicely, like Cox Lumber and TCE Paint Shop, the authorized Sherwin-Williams dealer in the Cayman Islands, inside both Cox Lumber locations.
Over 60 years ago, we started as an insurance company to put people first. Today, with all of the challenges our world is facing, that mission has never been more important. Brit-K is now CG Brit-K. And though our name has changed, our purpose hasn't. We're still the same people-first company we've always been. And we're here for you, stronger than ever. CG Brit-K.
The Cayman Islands Justices of the Peace Association will be holding its annual general meeting on Wednesday, the 18th of November, starting at 5:30 p.m. in Conference Room 1038 on the ground floor of the Government Administration Building. Entry to the building will be through the staff entrance. All members of the association are encouraged to attend. The agenda will include special donation presentations to recipients of 3 non-profit organizations that render services to children and youth in our Cayman Islands community. Refreshments will be provided. Remember, the Justices of the Peace Association annual general meeting is Wednesday, November 18th at the Government Administration Building.
Due to the forecasted weather deterioration, as Tropical Storm Eta passes west of the Cayman Islands, the port in Grand Cayman and in Cayman Brac will be closed to vessel berthing at its facilities today until further notice. The Berkeley Bush Cargo Distribution Center on Portland Road and the billing office will be open as normal today, but will not open tomorrow. So we encourage all importers who have goods cleared and ready to collect to do so today if possible. The Cargo Distribution Center and billing office will reopen on Tuesday, and berthing of vessels will resume as weather permits.
Hi, Cayman. More. Yes. More. Cool. More music. Hi, Cayman. This is Ashley Gooden, your reigning Miss Teen, and you're listening to DJ Lynn on Radio Cayman.
want you but don't need you. Hey, I can't figure it out. There's something about her. 'Cause she walk like a boss, talk like a boss, manicure and nails, just set the pedicure off. She's fly effortlessly, and she move like a boss, do what a boss do. She got me thinking about getting involved. That's the kind of girl I need. She got her own thing, that's why I love her. Miss Independent, won't you come and spend a little time? She got her own thing, that's why I love her. Miss Independent, ooh, the way you shine. Miss Independent, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, there's something about kind of woman that can do for herself. I look at her and it makes me proud. There's something about her. There's something oh so sexy about kind of woman that don't even need my help. She says she got it, no doubt. There's something about her. 'Cause she work like a boss, play like a boss. Car and a crib, she bout to pay them both off. And her bills are paid on time, yeah. She made for a boss, only a boss. Anything less, she telling them to get lost. That's the girl that's on my mind. She got her own thing, that's why I love her. Miss Independent, won't you come and spend a little time? She got her own thing, that's why I love her. Miss Independent, ooh, the way you shine. Miss Independent, her favorite thing to say, don't worry, I got it. And everything she got, best believe she bought it. She gon' steal my heart, ain't no doubt about it. Girl, you're everything I need. Said you're everything I need. Yeah, 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 yeah. She got her own thing, that's why I love her. Spend a little that's why I love her.
Hey, this is Caitlin Tyson, Miss Cayman Islands Universe 2018, and you're listening to DJ Lynn on Radio Cayman.
be gone.
All the single ladies, 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 all the single ladies. Now put your hands up.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only two species that we have, on the island.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The Caribbean Utilities Company Customer Service Center in CUC's administration building on North Sound Road will be closed today due to the inclement weather. The Customer Service Center will reopen on Tuesday, November 10th. CUC apologizes for this inconvenience. However, their customer service team can be contacted at 949-5200 or via email at service@cuc.ky. Good morning, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, Bangladesh's first religious school for transgender people has opened in Dhaka. More than 150 students will study Islamic and vocational subjects free of charge at the privately funded seminary or madrasa in the capital. Many in the transgender community identify as a third gender, which is now officially recognized in the country. And a minor war of words has broken out after Ariana Grande criticized social media influencers for partying during the coronavirus pandemic. The pop star condemned people who were gathering at the cowboy-themed Saddle Ranch restaurant in Los Angeles, which has become a hangout for TikTok stars. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
RC Fusion.
Brought to you by Nathan General Maintenance and Construction. You break it, they fix it. Call the General for a free quote. 917-7586.
RC Fusion.
TC Paint Shop. The TC Paint Shop is the authorized dealer for Sherwin-Williams in the Cayman Islands. 943-0565, 27 Godfrey Nixon Way. We are so looking forward to serving you soon.
RC Fusion.
Brought to you by K&A Janitorial. A cleaner home is a good step forward for your mental peace. It's time to call K&A Janitorial Services at 326-3379.
RC Fusion.
And the Georgetown Farmers Market. It's time you start eating local. The market at the Cricket Grounds. Proudly Caymanian and 100% fresh.
RC Fusion. RC Fusion.
You know our love was meant to be the kind of love to last forever. And I want you here with me.